This is William, hopefully your favorite videographer. We are here at the Dallas Area Rapid Transit Board meeting, the agency known as D.A.R.T to Dallas, Texas residents. As a service to the Dallas community, we plan to cover D.A.R.T board meetings from gavel to gavel. Public comments are required to keep D.A.R.T board aware of issues close to the ridership that they may not get through other resources.
It's 6:35, and this Board of Directors meeting of D.A.R.T is called to order. Our first order of business is the approval of the minutes. Is there a motion?
So good.
A second? Oh, I heard that. Those in favor? Thank you. We have 5 people who have signed up to speak, 3 at the beginning of the meeting and 2 at the end, 4 at the beginning, total of 6. The first speaker is Mr. Richard Sheridan, and the second speaker is Ms. Angela White.
Mr. Chairman, would you like me to read this for you before you start that, or?
Pardon me?
Would you like me to read this?
Excuse me. We need to pause for a moment.
Okay.
Our assistant, it's passed its way.
It's made it to me. Yes, thank you. This is to satisfy our legal requirements. General public comments will be allowed at the beginning of each D.A.R.T board meeting for a total of 30 minutes, and again at the end of the meeting when the 30-minute period does not accommodate all persons who have signed up to speak. Individuals who have addressed the board in the past 30 days will be recognized to speak during the public comment period at the end of the meeting. During the public comment period, board members may not interact with the speakers or other board members by asking questions or offering their own comments. Members of the public are reminded their behavior during the D.A.R.T board meeting is governed by the D.A.R.T board Code of Conduct for citizens, news media, and visitors. Personal attacks, impertinent or slanderous remarks, and boisterous conduct will not be allowed. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the board. The green light on the podium will indicate when you can begin speaking. The yellow light indicates that you have 1 minute remaining, and the red light indicates your time has expired. And our first speaker is Mr. Richard Sheridan, followed by Ms. Angela White.
Yes, good evening. My name is Rich Sheridan. I live at 11661 Dennis Road. I'm here to speak about item 14, MV Transportation's contract. There are a number of factors to consider here. Number 1, a few months ago, about 25 handicapped people spoke before you complaining about MV's poor service. Some broke down crying. Number 2, the Dallas News recently reported that the rollout of MV services was a disaster. Number 3, the news article reported that the passengers complained about poorly trained drivers, out-of-the-way routes, long wait times, and the wrong vehicle sent to pick them up. 4, the article stated that some complaints were voiced across the country about MV. 5, apparently MV has been fined $335,000 for missing performance standards. This is about 1% of the income to MV. So far, they have about a $26 million per year contract. This is about 1%, a slap on the wrist, a virtual no incentive to do a better job. 6, a D.A.R.T board member allegedly accused staffers of using scare tactics to gain support for continuing with MV. 7, D.A.R.T staffers, it's been reported, are telling board members that there's not enough time to pick a new company with MV's contract ending in September of this year. This position, in my mind, is totally indefensible. 8, MV Transportation will be purchased soon. We know what happens when there are takeovers. This will add some or a lot of instability to their operations. 9, it's been reported that Yellow Cab plays a big part in MV's operations. This gives me a great concern, as Yellow Cab for years has maintained a virtual control of the cab situation in Dallas. Yellow Cab lobbied successfully to get front-of-the-line privileges at Love Field. All things considered, I think D.A.R.T should go out for bid for a second company to provide services, tandem parallel with MV. There's nothing like competition. I recommend a 6-month side-by-side trial period, and at the end, D.A.R.T can decide either continue with the two services, the two companies, replace one of them, or maybe just continue with one. And that would be from September until March of 2015. I've worked in the courier business for a number of years, and there are some companies out there that will have two companies all the time, or they'll try out two companies, and then they'll get rid of the bad one. So I hope you make the right decision this evening, and thank you very much.
Next speaker is Ms. Angela White.
Good evening. My name is Angela White. My ID number is 99984. I have been a passenger with D.A.R.T for 15 years. I'm a member of the Women's Council of Dallas. Will this cut into my time? No. Am I being heard now?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, my name is Angela White. My ID number is 99984. I'm a member of the Dallas Area Agency on Aging, the consumer network of that same organization, the sensitivity committee for the Area Agency on Aging. Also, I'm a member of the National Multiple Sclerosis Society for 14 years. I'm a volunteer for individuals with MS and other disabilities. The reason I'm here today is I came prepared to actually talk about some of the concerns that I have with MV. But in thinking about what has been going on, and there has been some improvement, some of the issues have actually been addressed. My main concern right now is the use of the taxis. The taxis are not a vehicle that individuals who have disabilities, who are elderly, should be riding in. I have members that have multiple sclerosis, and some of those members cannot use their hands. Some of them actually can travel without an attendant, but the seat belts in the taxis oftentimes do not work. So they're not tied down properly. There's nothing for them to hold on to in the back of the cabs, like an armrest or something that they can hold on to. So the entire ride is they are doing this, or if the driver is driving very fast, they're thrown into the back of the seats. The taxis, and the individuals who are driving the taxis are very, very rude. They have no training on how to deal with individuals who have disabilities. None. I've been asked to get out of my chair, out of this scooter, walk up to the taxi, and get in the taxi with the driver. If I could do that, I wouldn't need the taxi. I wouldn't even use D.A.R.T. And so other than that, I think MV is improving. We've had some struggles, but I think that with time, those things can be done, can be improved, I should say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is William Sheridan, Jr. Oh, William Sanders, Jr. My apologies.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Good evening.
To this honorable board, executive staff, Amalgamated Transit Union officers, employees, ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors. Mr. Chairman, my purpose for being here again before you is this issue with the retirees' death benefit. And part of that was settled to my satisfaction. However, there was a document that was entered in that insurance folder that I was unaware of, and I don't understand why and how it got in there. Now, that is something that was put in there since Dallas Transit System. See, I came from Dallas Transit System, and I retired in '94. And since then, there's some documentation been put in there, and of course, I have met with someone. I appeared before this board, and I met with someone on that, and I asked that question, and I was supposed to have been gotten back with. But until this day, now we have talked on the telephone, but I was told by my contact that no one has told him anything as of yet. With due respect, I don't understand why it takes from November 14th through Thanksgiving, through Christmas, through New Year's, and here it is almost 4th of July. And I'm still not satisfied. And I'm appearing before you again, Mr. Chairman, requesting that some way, somehow, if it be necessary, that I can go to that person who put that documentation in there, whereby I can get a satisfaction from that. Because as it stands, the retirees are out here bugging me about that. And I stand firm by telling them I don't have the answer yet. Well, I don't know is poor leadership. And I can't afford to go down that way. As a matter of fact, my dad taught me, he said, boy, you say what you gotta say, be firm, know what you're talking about, and then sit down. So to be appreciated, now I have made my case to you, now I'm gonna sit down.
Mr. Sanders, thank you for coming this evening, and I am assured that you will be receiving a call tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
You've left a phone number on this card. Is this a good number
sir.
to call you at tomorrow?
Yes, sir, it is. Yes,
And would the morning, any time in the morning, any time in the afternoon?
Yes, sir.
Work for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you don't get a call from somebody tomorrow that you're satisfied with, would you please call Ms. Nancy Johnson, and she'll contact me, and I'll take care of that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Our next speaker is I'm going to do my best. Joanna Modugu. I didn't even get close. Gary. Okay, thank you. Our next speaker then is Ms. Mary Rhodes.
She needs some help.
Ms. Rhodes?
Let's go.
Ms. Rhodes, are you going to speak?
Yes,
He just called your name.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I was saying, she needs help. That's all right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, members of the board, and all the appropriate people that are here. I am Glad to be here. My name is Mary Rhodes, 512 South Delaware Street, apartment 6 in Irving, 75060. I'm sorry. I gave the wrong number, don't worry about it. My reason for being here is that I want to piggyback off of what was said and some things that I have to say. I'm hearing things that are making me unhappy, which means that someone is saying that they're receiving calls saying that if they come to a meeting such as this, they're going to lose their subscription. It's a scare tactic, and if it's true, it's sad. I'm praying and hoping that it's incorrect, but if it is, you need to know about it so that something can be done. I'm on the safety committee, and we really haven't gotten off the ground with it yet, but I have good feeling about it if we just get it going. They did put a few safety bars on there. If I talk about the bad, I can talk about the good. A couple of the rear-ending buses, rear-loading buses do have safety rails on them, but there's still a long way to go on the safety issue. And in listening to that young lady saying about not having anything to grab onto in the cabs, well, on the buses, we're back there like this too, because there's nothing to grab. There's no bars for most of the buses. And if they have to stop all of a sudden, you're gonna be jerked and jaked around. If something happened to one of the tie downs, we're gonna go flying. It's a safety issue all the way around, both with the cabs and on the buses. And we need to correct that in order for the people who can't get up and walk and transfer to be safe on the buses, and that's what the whole thing is about. I also wanted to mention about the drivers. I speak on behalf of them too. Whereas if the drivers have a long running time and they get off late and they have to get up really early in the morning, it's like driving with a drunk driver, because they're not on point on how they're supposed to drive. And I want to be safe when I'm riding with them. So you have to really look at that fact also, that the drivers don't have extra time on one end and early times on the other end, so that they can be safe and get us to where we have to go safely. That's pretty much all I had to say.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Mr. Albert Dearla.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Gary Thomas, and the rest of the board. I just want to bring a few issues to you, touch up on what was said earlier. First, I'd like to say is I remember back in the late 90s when D.A.R.T had real good service. We've gotten Agency of the Year. We used to look real good in our uniforms, but now I don't see that happening, not with the paratransit services going on. Two things I want to bring to your attention. The D.A.R.T paratransit riders, when they schedule rides to show up at the D.A.R.T board meeting, they're purposely scheduled late so they can miss the D.A.R.T board meeting. And the second thing, cab drivers are riding on these new cabs where the wheelchair lift is in the back of the van. They're riding with the hatch door up. That is unsafe. And that's why I was saying, with these issues with paratransit, I can't see D.A.R.T getting Agency of the Year anymore. Something needs to be done about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Deal. Our next speaker is Mr. DeBose Christian.
Good evening. I have an issue. consisting of the board of directors that meet our needs. I remember one time my grandmother used to tell me, if it's not broke, what are we trying to fix? If it's not broke, what are we trying to fix? See, because since we've been employed at D.A.R.T and representing ATU, D.A.R.T have done everything within reason to accommodate the customers and the passengers. They got the mobilities on the phones. They went out and spent the money on the LED lights to let them know how to ride the buses and the trains. But for some reason, we dropped the ball on our handy ride. People, our disability people. Now I'm asking you the question, is it all about money to you? Because I heard earlier tonight that would a contract company come in and underbid a bid, and they didn't think or seem to think they would do so. But that's the purpose of a contract, to underbid to get the contract. Now, my issue is it affects our public. Now, our passengers are here today telling you that it is unsafe for them to ride in cabs, and yet you're still trying to go out and buy more cabs. They're telling you they don't even want to ride in them. They're telling you they're not safe. They're telling you that the drivers can't speak their language, smoking, driving from lane to lane, hitting their brakes, jamming their brakes, and it's unsafe for them. But yet we're trying to accommodate MV. MV unbidded a contract to get the contract, and then they come to you asking for more money. Now, what they're looking to do is pick out the employees. Employees can't go from A to B, first and foremost, running out of gas. Secondly, they go to one-time point, 2, 3 people waiting to get on the bus, and they're told not to. They're told not to because they're set up on fixed rides, not hourly, fixed rides. So they make their money consistent of fixed rides. When you got 2 or 3 people in one location saying that, hey, we can all get on at one time, they're saying no because they're going on fixed rides. We're serving the need of the public. The public is the reason why we're here today. The public is the reason why we exist today. Let's send a message to the public that we care, that it's not all about money, that it's all not about egos. We're asking, do the right thing. Take a little time as far as voting this contract in. Talk to your people that you supposedly take care of. I'm asking you, I'm pleading with you. Do what's best for them because they've done what's best for us. They chose D.A.R.T, and D.A.R.T represent everything that we do today. So I'm asking Mr. Gary Thomas, the board of directors, before you make this decision consistent of our public, and our public is the reason why we're here today. Think about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Christian. We have the CAC report. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm Phyllis Silver, and I'm pleased to be the new chair of the D.A.R.T Citizens Advisory Committee, and I appreciate the opportunity to present this report on our February 20th meeting. In our meeting, several members of D.A.R.T's marketing and planning teams presented our committee with the design options for their C-Car pilot project. The main purpose of this project is to encourage the use of the C-Car primarily for bicycles, the mobility impaired, passengers with luggage, and also with baby carriages. Our group members provided their input on the design options presented. Committee members commented about how pleased we were to have the opportunity to provide this feedback as advisory committee members. Gary Copeland, project manager, presented our group with a bus shelter program update. This will involve 437 shelter installations and replacements with a target completion date of June 2015. We appreciate D.A.R.T board member Michael Cheney's participation in our meeting. Business items addressed during our meeting included transit security issues in the southern sector, recommendation for increased timeliness and clarity in passenger notification about weekend station monitor availability. During our bus shelter and amenity presentation, recommendation was made to have a, quote, panic button at bus stops. And also, we recognize D.A.R.T's full-page ad for D-Link in a health magazine. We are planning a work session at our March 20th meeting, as well as a possible briefing from D.A.R.T staff. I would like to invite each D.A.R.T board member to our meetings. We meet the third Thursday of each month through November. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We have 19 agenda items. First item is that of Ms. Gates's committee, and the vice chair of that is? Jerry, could you take that?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of the shelter service funding agreement with the City of Dallas. So move.
Second.
All those in favor, say yes, please.
Yes.
Those opposed? Motion carries. The next item is from the Revenue Committee. Mr. Cheney, could you take that?
This item is the approval of the interlocal agreement with the Metropolitan Transit Authority. Have I got the right one, Mr. Chairman? Harris County, Texas, relating to mobile ticketing services. I move approval of the item.
All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Wageman?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of agenda item number 6 relating to the 2014 annual disclosure statement of the agency.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of agenda item number 7 relating to the Federal Transit Administration supplemental agreements for the cities of Grand Prairie and Mesquite.
Somebody has to make, Paul, I'm sorry, was that in the form of a motion?
Yes.
Thank you. Which has been seconded. Those in favor, please signify by saying yes. Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Wageman, do you need to recuse yourself?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to recuse myself from items 8 and 9 as I indicated in the meeting of the Committee of the Whole. My law firm represents in each instance one company that is the subject of the vote. We do not represent them on matters before D.A.R.T, nor am I personally involved in that representation. I'll be removing myself from consideration of the item.
Mr. Cheney,
Chairman?
yes.
My wife, number 8, my wife working for one of the vendors, so I recuse myself.
Item 8. You can come back because that blows our quorum.
Okay.
So, Randall, would you ask to come back and we can vote on 6 or 8? Wait a minute. We don't have a quorum for 8.
Right, we'll have to move 8 to the next meeting. We have a quorum for 9.
I'm okay with 9.
And there was a motion for item 9 made by...
There hasn't been a motion yet, Mr. Chairman.
Pardon me?
I don't believe there was a motion. Are you waiting for a motion for number 8 or 9 or both?
9.
9. Motion to approve. This item was discussed in Committee of the Whole and was passed unanimously.
All those in favor signify by saying yes, please.
Yes.
Those opposed? The motion carries. Nancy, would you ask Paul to return? Items 10, 11, 12, and 13 all came out of the Rail Committee. Randall, could you?
Mr. Chairman, these did come out of the Rail Committee and were approved also at Committee of the Whole, and I would move that those items for final approval tonight.
All those in favor signify by saying yes, please.
Yes.
Those opposed? The motion carries. Item 15 comes out of admin. Jerry?
Mr. Chairman, yes, item 15 came through Committee of the Whole, and it was unanimously passed, and I move approval.
Did I hear all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? The motion carries. Richard? 16, 17, 18, and 19, your committee, Mr. Carrizales?
Yes, sure, Chairman. 16, 17, 18, 19 did come to the Operation Safety Security Committee, and they were unanimously approved, and we would make a motion that they be so approved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying yes to items 16, 17, 18, 19.
Y'all can take 14.
The next order of business, what? Yeah. I know. We're doing it now. I know. We're doing it now. The next order of business, Richard, comes out of your committee, item 14.
Yes, Chairman, it did come out of the committee. If someone would like to make a motion, I'm not going to make a motion on that issue.
Randall? All those, is there a second?
Yes. Was a motion made, Chairman?
Yes, by Mr. Chrisman. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Nay.
I'd like a hand count. Nancy? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Seven. All those opposed? Motion. The motion carries. Thank you all very much. Thank you. The next item is there are two speakers who wish to speak at the end of the meeting. Mr. Newton, Mr. Kenneth Newton. Mr. Newton.
The name's Kenneth Newton. I'm a paratransit rider, 118093. I just heard you're getting ready to buy more cabs. Why, I don't know. You need to get your vans back here because I don't know if you looked at it. The StarCraft 2 is set up to carry 2 scooters or wheelchairs, 10 people. That's 2 cabs right there for that one vehicle, okay? The StarCraft 1 has 2 wheelchairs. I'm sorry, has 2 wheelchairs, but the StarCraft 2 has 3 wheelchairs. You need 3 cabs to match that vehicle just for wheelchairs. You need to get, why don't you get the vans back? Also, you're not going to match or make up for being late. You should get a standby crew, okay? Instead of you riding along or you receiving an add-on. Now you've thrown that driver's time off. People sitting on that bus got to get somewhere. They're going to be late. Nobody's addressing that. You got people end up in the hospital because they're supposed to be at dialysis. I have to see my doctor. They made that appointment for me to be there at a certain time because they want to see me. Going into that doctor's office, I can't tell that man I'm late because D.A.R.T got me there late. All right? Your system is shot. I tried to speak about this. Nobody wanted to listen, but it happened anyway. Why you tried to fix it, I don't know. It wasn't broke. But your drivers are going through, they're just going through it. And from being a retired transit worker, having to deal with the public, it's not the driver's fault. It's management's fault. You got to treat these people with respect. But like I said, with the cabs, please, get rid of these cabs. Nobody can take them. I ended up in the hospital because you had me come for a vehicle assessment. A vehicle assessment means you would have had a city bus there, a Starcraft 1 and 2. They only had a taxi cab there. I told them I couldn't do it. They told me I had to do it. I ended up, this was on a Monday. I did it. Friday, I'm at my doctor's office because I had a swollen testicle. He sent me to the emergency room. I had to go back Monday for ultrasound. Then I ended up having an operation, all because of D.A.R.T, okay? They thought it was a joke. I got hurt. I fell down a 5-foot flight of steps. I gave D.A.R.T my paperwork from the United States government stating what I could and cannot do. I need that lift because I can't climb. Do you understand that? I told them, don't argue with me, or there's the paperwork, you call the government and find out from them what I can do.
Our next speaker is Mr. James Harris.
Good evening. First of all, Mr. Thomas, you have my condolences. The reason why I'm here tonight is that this morning there was supposed to be a defined benefit meeting. There was not a quorum. And I understand about Mr. Velasco. He's been in an accident. Mr. Oliver wasn't there. Mr. Knott comes in about 25 minutes late. Therefore, you couldn't have a defined benefit meeting. But the main reason why I'm here, I'm tired of being treated like a child. I'm 66 years old. And this morning, I've been sitting at the table ever since I retired. Some don't like it, but this is all they wanted to give me was the agenda. This was the entire packet. And like I told them, I'm entitled to the packet except for one thing, and that is someone's personal retirement. Eventually, they give it to me. I don't know what's going on here about the defined benefit retirement program, but I'm not one to be played with. I'm a grown man, and I'm tired of it. I am tired of it. The vice president and the assistant general counsel don't know the rules. This little book right here comes from the PRB, and it tells you everything that this system is supposed to be about and supposed to operate on. And if you all don't have it, you should get it. I'm tired of it. This morning, you should have had in your committee of the whole today, you should have had a actuary's report. It wasn't ready. It's supposed to be, the draft was supposed to be presented this month. It has always been presented in the month of February. Next month is when you approve it. The next month, you have to put the contributions in there. I am sick and tired of being treated like I'm a child. I'm a grown man, a black man who is going to stand up for what I believe in. And I am just tired of it. The secretary sit there with a smirk on her face because she give me this. I'm just too old for to be played with. This is my livelihood. And I've been fighting for a position on that committee, and I am tired, and that's what I want. Every public plan in this state has retirees on their board except this public municipality. And it's time for us to have some representation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes our business. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
Ms. William, hopefully your favorite videographer. We love comments. If you don't like the way D.A.R.T is handling things, lay it out for everyone to see. If you like or hate this video, tell us. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, tell us. We even love it when you call. Better yet, like or follow us on Facebook or subscribe to us on YouTube and get instant notices of all our videos